Hey, how you doing, everybody? This is Souls44. Welcome back to MC Eternal 2. And look, I did a lot of work off camera, and I gotta explain some things, so this is gonna take a minute. But I did do a lot of quests today, or well, actually the last couple days. And I have to tell you, this pack is hard. Like this is a tough one. I'm gonna say this is up in the top. This is it's not quite the difficulty like RL Craft, but it's definitely in the category of RL Craft as far as like how hard stuff can get. I lost my airplane, and I lost it to a bunch of these flying feathery amphitheater. What I don't know what they are. They're basically eagles or hawks that throw feathers at you, and it destroyed my aircraft. So we're gonna build a new one. That's gonna be a goal. But I also have to cover some errors and things that have gone on that I hope is remedied soon. One of them is this right here, the Enchanter's Eye. I previously said it didn't work because it wouldn't activate the integrated dynamics terminal. So let's go back over there. I'll cover some of the changes. One of them being that that is a max size windmill. Yeah, it takes 128 sails to make it max size. You have to have all of those and build it, and then it'll tell you you made a max size one. So that's a max size. And if you notice behind there is a crafting system, right? I made 21 of those. Really wasn't hard. But the thing is the quest book, not that, the quest book, you got to follow it like it wants you to. You can't get stuff out of order a lot of times, um, or it'll mess it up. These are the travel right here. You got to click on the little picture here. And basically what happens is if you do this, it's going to give you a trip back to the wherever you're at, right? Your spawn, but it actually flies you into the middle of the air. It spawns me in the middle of the air. Okay, so I'm not doing that again. You can get down and then you're not going to die, right? But like you don't get this. You get a piece of food though, and you can keep doing this, I guess, forever. I don't know. But the idea is once the mod's complete, you'll be able to use your coins to pay for you to trip back, and then there's a cooldown. And then this one right here, you can see it kinda. It's hidden behind the back here. If you find this traveler's ticket, it'll take you to this new dimension called the Sakura dimension, I guess. I don't know. I can't get there. I don't have this travel ticket. I don't know where it's at. But if you click this and you click submit, it's going to tell you got nothing anyway. So that's just a to be done. I guess it's not finished. So modular tools. I did a mod look at, and I updated all the mods. Literally all the mods. I updated them all. There is just a few more updates left to go, I think, and then everything will be back up to it again. I went through and went ahead and made a set of traveler's gear. It's pretty horribly done. JEI has a hard time with finding it. Right, your traveling gear. If you type in travel, it doesn't work. I haven't tried gear. No, gear doesn't work. Goggle does not work because those are not the goggles that it wants. So you have to go through and actually use the Tinker's book to define what the crafting patterns are. So if you get the book out, you get the not the encyclopedia and Tinkery. It's what is it called? Tome? No. It's here it is. What's this called again? Oh yeah, eccentric tome. Oh, it's not gonna show up. That's right. Because it's inside of a chest. And the chest is not connected to the system, even though it is. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe if I've exceeded, well, we better wait when my frames lag while this loads in. All right, the facades for um. Woo, Facades for integrated dynamics work, I am very happy to say. So that's really good. I have decided to go ahead and start using a lectern and a bookworm. Now, if you're confused, it's not really all that hard to make a bookworm. I thought it was a lot harder. I should have known better. Um, just under worm. What? At ours. And then I think it's charm. There it is. Bookworm charm. Basically, all you gotta do is do the ritual of awakening. Then you throw a book and quill in it, and you get a bookworm charm. Right? So the ritual of awakening is a little bit of a... It's a little bit of a pain to do, but it's not that bad. And then you can get a bound bookworm. I guess it follows you around as a familiar. It's not the same as a pet though. So yeah, basically do your awakening. This isn't that bad. It takes a little bit of work, but it's not too bad. Then you got your tablet binding, and you got your wildling tribute, which we will be doing this right here, the summon wildling soon, so that we can get one of these bad boys. It's just not necessarily right now for us to get some of these things. Actually, it's not accessible. You can get this really cool enchanted book. I don't know what it does. I guess it's a way of... Yeah, it just basically lets you put in your spells onto, like, as if it was an enchantment. So I need to think about that a little bit to figure out exactly what it is I want to do there. We did not find a Wildman's Den, unfortunately, so we couldn't go through that. But let's take a look. I'll show you what the error is. As you can see right now... Well, this guy's in the way. Okay, so this guy says 6 out of 6. What that is you just use the... I'll just get it out. Actually, I need to get the tool out as well. You get the Ars book out. Make yourself the... I can't even get the domination one. So, like, it shows that it's connected, right? But here's the thing, is it's not. If I type in the word obsidian, that's how I've been checking it. You can see it only shows 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delink it and then relink it. And I have to do that every time I log in. So unfortunately, that's where a lot of my duplicates come in, as I made a bunch of stuff. Okay, now it's linked. So instead of linking all of these over and over and over again, I made one of these sophisticated storage links. And basically everything that's touching storage-wise, that sophisticated storage, all becomes one big unit. And I don't know if I just have too many and it's having issues or what. I don't know. Yeah. So I discovered a lot... Oh, don't you dare. Oh, fine. You're stuck. I changed up my scenery. I made a 3, 4... I have 4 whirly sprigs going. I've got plenty of source to provide for all of my stuff, except for when I go over to the imbuement chambers and I make a bunch of these. It does use up a lot of source, and eventually I run out for a little while, but it fills back up pretty quick. So now you can see I have 159 because now the stuff isn't missing from the list. Now, this Scrying Eye shoots the interact spell. It can do not use the sensitive spell part. You just want to use... Oops. You just want to use projectile interact. Don't use sensitive, just use projectile interact. And it will interact with the lectern. The lectern is used by placing the domination wand, I think it's what it's called. Yeah, this thing right here, the dominion wand. And basically you just click on it and then an item that you want to the inventory to be stored on. It reaches a maximum amount because it works by itself, no problem. Like it worked by itself, no problem. But after you reach 2, I think, or 3 inventories, it says it's too many. So then you make a bookworm. And basically, every time you get a bookworm, you get more links. So since I have it linked to there, basically, like as you can see, it shows a little glowing piece. It also reaches farther without having cables. So I went ahead and linked it to the chest here. And as you can see, I put an iron upgrade in there so that I could get myself a lot more different varieties of stuff to fit. And of course, I added to the dropper here so that it could, you can even see them. Well, that's not the full list, but those are the things that are inside the inventory here that it will drop. So it's going to drop this, it's going to see, it dropped it, and it burns, and it keeps it full. And I added a whole bunch of more slime here and added a little tree, and it has some grass. So, yeah. Use some of my grass seeds to make that grow. I just let it grow on its own. Use the builder's gadget to connect my island, which is kind of a mistake in a way, on all 4 corners, because now if I stand here too long, people will make it across. I did my first raid. It got 3 out of 5 done where I killed them all, and I did that on accident because I got raided by an actual raiding party. Gave me, of course, that bad omen. I went to a village trying to steal / kidnap some little baby villagers using this chrysalis just to see if it would work. And I started off a raid. It got about 3/5 of the way through, and then it just failed. I don't know what happened. They stopped showing up. I also made a kettle so that I can make the different types of food. I don't know why it's showing lava there, but yeah, there's lava. I'm a little confused with that. I don't know if that's creating lava or what. I didn't put lava in there. I just put it over the top of this fire, and then now this says lava. So I'm guessing that there is, if you take a bucket, you can get lava from it? That's new. Holy crap. This thing generates lava. That can't be right. Goal number 1, though, is for me to get a plane, but I also need to figure out how to get the rats mod, because I think the rats mod can bucket your lava here and keep my iron farm running. I did get the Minecraft going as well. I'll show you that in a second. A little bit. So yeah, I did a lot of stuff. I did it all for the quest book. And it just, one thing led to another, and I ended up just keep on going and going and going, so. No sense in leaving this sit here, you know what I'm saying? So that's been my daily thing, is I just been getting on and going through the motions of keeping my farms running and stuff, upgrading my storage, and then completing quests. I will say this, it is harder as a mod pack. I would definitely put it up in the way harder than all the mods 10. Way, way harder. Not just because of the gating. I mean, because the gating is pretty rough. You can't do certain things without certain things in this pack a lot. Like, my flight right now was not, I didn't get it right away. But the creatures that spawn are on a tier list, and the moment that I try to use that gate to go to the nether, and I get the completion, it's going to get harder. So yeah, that's a thing. Just bear that in mind if you're playing. You're just expect it to die, I guess. At least once. If you beat this pack without dying, you let me know. You let me know what you did to beat the pack, which you can't really do. But and the reason why I say that you can't really do it is because there's limits to what you can do. It's not finished. Like a lot. Let's go ahead and get our daily reward, which at first I thought, oh, wait. Oh, no, I don't want that one. At first, I thought this would be a no problem, but in order for you to complete some of these quests, if you go down to the challenges, in order to get some of these, you really got to be. I mean, this one's kill 50 of each dragon. And then there's these empty slots, which I know they're just hidden quests. You know, they're hidden quests. And these are time stuff, that's silly. Same thing with that one. But like this one right here, craft 1 million tiny potatoes. Uh, I'll tell you ahead of time, I'm probably not going to do that. And then collect every music disc. Like, yeah. Okay, good luck. I mean, you get some really good stuff, right? For quest rewards and things, but yeah, I don't know if anyone is doing that. So let me know when you guys do that. I really want to know. I mean, seriously. And yeah, so let's go through real quick what I did with the um where is it? Create, because I worked on create the most because it wasn't really that hard. I have to make a crushing wheel, which we're about to do, but all the stuff that I had already done, kind of, I had to circle back to do again. But you really want to start here, I guess, with these bottom here, creating brass, which you can do with Tinker Smeltery, and then getting a wrench. This isn't that hard, but then andesite alloy, that's not that bad. Copper, obviously, copper is. You just want to make a copper casing and some copper sheets. Again, I just did that with Create mod or with Tinker's mod, and it was able to do those things but just fine. But then you get into the more difficult ones, like the Spooky Factory. 64 soul sand. I didn't have enough. Yeah, I didn't have enough. So I gotta find some more soul sand or a way to get it. And there is this method where you just take sand and use conjure essence. I'll probably do that. But they want you to use this the fan across some soul flames, or you can use this haunted hatch, which is the same thing apparently. And then there's like this industrial blower. See, some of the stuff like what? I don't know. I don't know. I guess you use pneumatic crafts to do that. So I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, this Enchanter's Eye does work at far dimensions, far away. Sometimes I don't know if there's an update that I did that fixed it temporarily or not, but put it this way: when I'm at this location, I am 14,000 blocks away, and as of right now, it works just fine. But every once in a while I'll log in and I'll try to use it over here and it just won't work. And then there's always, of course, correcting the storage system and fixing it up and getting it going. You just unlink it, link it again, and it works. So I'm assuming that there's an update that'll come that'll fix that. I've been keeping all of my stuff in here. As you can see, I have 45 soul sand, so I can complete some of those quests. Oh man, what else did I do? Of course, I did the mechanical mixer and the basin, which I already had. So all you have to do is pick them back up and they load. This powder I made inside a sag mill. The sag mill isn't that hard to make. You just got to make yourself some iron bars. Grades of Infinity, which I've shown you how to do that already. Dark steel. I didn't make dark steel. I got the dark steel from Adventure Towers. I was just working on Adventure Towers and different chests throughout the world. But we got nowhere to get around super fast now. What is this? Oh yeah, no. Not doing that now. And I made a sag mill. I hooked it up to power. I got power. Cool beans. When it comes down to storage solutions, if you come down here, I had to redo these. It says I need to find a sky temple. I already found a sky temple, but because this wasn't activated. So go through and make sure you check off anything like this that has a quest info and a tick mark. go do those first thing when you first start. So that way, when you do these quests, they get completed. Because I had to go through and remake. I had to make the squeezer and the drying basin over again because it was out. I did it out of order. Now this stuff is through Britannia. This corporeal stuff. I don't really like corporeal stuff for storage. Not a fan of it. I'll probably do it for the quests, of course, but that's it. Your difficulty modes show expert. Like as soon as you enter the Nether, from then on, overworld stuff will change too. Your creatures and stuff will change too, from what I gather. That eyeball that I found, if you look right here and you do this, you'll get this as a quest reward. And apparently it's repeatable, and I don't think it's supposed to be. But if you have these items, you can click them. You know, obviously you have an ender pearl and the amethyst, you can submit it, that kind of thing. So I made all those things. It was a chicken sandwich, not that hard. I had some glowing sacks from traveling. And what you're going to get though is this explorer's compass. And the explorer's compass is actually going to take you to all the different eyeballs. And I clicked this here because it said collect 4 secret eyes. One of the secret eyes is that masquerade eye because none of these eyes are the same. Apparently you can just substitute that masquerade eye in for one of these if you don't. If you get one of the 4, you get 4 of these, you can not do 4 of these and still get to the end, but that's not for a long time. And then I don't know what these boxes are, but I'm assuming that they're like trophies for defeating these various different creatures that control the eye. Okay, that's my assumption there. You go into fishing. We covered fishing already. Raw fish. Actually, I might have enough raw fish. Maybe not. No, I guess not. I'm up to 10,000 raw beef now, too. So, don't worry. It'll come in handy. Mechanical crafters are really not that difficult to make. It's just a brass casing and an electron tube. And to polish this, now you can enchant the sandpaper. It doesn't last, even with Unbreaking 2 on it, it didn't last very long, but I was able to get enough rose quartz. And then, of course, you can make but you can make a food with it as well. So if you take this, this rose quartz and you cook it, that's why I have the cooking pot, as I saw this recipe. You just put a stick in here with 2 sugar of this, and it'll give you some rock candy. It's kind of neat. You know, it's one of the quests you got to do to get food. Let's see. We were looking at. I will definitely be doing complicated bees very, very soon because I need to get diamonds. I think I got 1 diamond left. And I want to do rats real soon because I want to be able to get. Well, see, cheese making is funny. It takes blocks of cheese to make a cheese maker. Go figure, right? But I already have those now, so we should be good. And then rat traps. So rat traps are kind of stupid. I'm going to say that because you have to right-click them to set it and place a block of cheese on it, and it kills one rat. Then you have to do the same thing again. So, or not a block of cheese, but a slice of cheese. Each time you do it. And I'm assuming that once I make this and this, the quests book will open up even more. Now, I was asking for someone to tell me whether they wanted me to do what faction. And I have to sadly say, I am going to have to. Okay, I don't want to. I'm going to have to be a vampire in this pack. Because in the vampire stuff, it's all vampire bottles, vampire blood, vampire. There's nothing in here that I can see about being on the good side. Yeah, and so that really cements in a good thing that's a problem for me because I'm going to have to do the vampire side, but my base is centered on witch hunters or vampire hunters. That kind of stinks. And you got to use a chef's knife from the Fisher's thing and kill a village or a hunter, and you get a human eye. Now, I don't think you take any negatives. Like if I'm a vampire, those guys are going to attack me. I'm going to tell you that. I already know it. But I mean, you can kill one of those guys, and it's fine. They don't all attack you because you killed one hunter. So that's great as far as that faction thing goes, right? So I'll be able to complete some of these quests, no problem. But once I become a true vampire, I'm gonna have to deal with all kinds of negatives before the positives come, and that's gonna be like I have to basically spend 99% of the time inside the dark. So I think we're all caught up. I already made these on camera. There's a gun that you can make, which I mean, cool, I guess. The problem is guns require ammo. And look at this. Ammo requires a processing pattern to make 6 whole rounds. Like this stone cutting thing is fine. You just use the stone cutter, and you can get all these cool little pieces of a shotgun and whatnot. Oh, that's from mine colonies. But I'm not going to spend that much work just so that I can get 8 rounds and then do it again for 8 rounds and then keep on. I don't know. After applying all of the available upgrades, the revolver will become very powerful. And that sounds great, but there's so many other options. And this map pack is basically like choice overload. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a ton. Now I made all the hose reels at Sweet Tooth. Now this stuff all requires you making a chocolate factory, basically a mini chocolate factory, so that you can make this, or a honey on the honey apples, which I've had 5 honeyed apples before, so I don't need that necessarily. I can get that again. And I've had sweet rolls. It wants me to get 5 of them, which is just milk over bread. So I don't know. I'll definitely set up a spout to do this at some point. I don't know. But at some point, you're going to reach stopping points. Like I can't make a blaze burner without a blaze, so that's going to have to wait. And the workshop wants me to make these crushing wheels, which we're going to do right now. Hopefully I've got enough andesite alloy already made for the crushing wheel. Let's go ahead and add that to here so that way I don't forget. So it's 2 crushing wheels. We'll get from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm 16, so I got enough of those. And I'm going to need a wrench. Oh yeah, I better put this stuff away. Basically, I was just pulling everything out of this chest so that way I could get credit for all the quests. And I'm using jerky. That can be made in the keg, which is over by my mob farm, with my spawner agitator I found in a sunken chest at this weird little shrine. And I put it on the zombie, so when I turn the light off, even if I'm away, the zombies still keep spawning. We're gonna need the wrench. Wait, is that in here? No. So all I'm doing now is this is the output where it's gonna go. And then I just make sure that everything is facing in a way that it all connects. There's probably some kind of cool pattern thing that you can do to make this faster. I don't know. I think this works just fine. This will all shuffle down and it should all lead here, so. And then So I just need some planks and some stone. Oh, not planks, plank. 3, 4. There. There we go. And the reason why I'm doing this on camera is so that I can show you guys my quest rewards. Now, this is going to give me 2 to 3 loot chests, it says. That's cool. And another one. So for fun, we're going to open up 10 loot chests together. Loot chests? All right, so let's see what we get here. A ray gun? What the heck is a ray gun? From Alex's Caves. Oh. Does it break? All right, it does break. And it has a charge. Well, how do I charge it? Is it electrical? Like, is this energy? I better stop before I use it up. That's awesome. Because having a bow is great. I had to make a bow that had a 1.0 accuracy, whereas right now it's literally at 1.0. And I had that blaze gold and stuff left over, so I just made blaze gold. I added all kinds of junk to it until I got it to where it was like experience extremely whatever. But you can't give it infinity, and as far as I know, I don't know how to do that without using Tinker's mods and stuff on Tinker's things to give it that. So it's not as good as just having a bow that has a lot of stuff on it. So I just did that instead. Fruit basket. A fishing cloak. Oh, I already have one of those. Oh, wow. A shard of Laputa. Power 4. If you don't know what a shard does, the shard grabs material from the ground and transfers it up into the sky and forms like an island. So this is a power 5, which is pretty high. It goes higher if I remember right. I think if you combine them together, you can get it up higher, but it has a radius of 18. So an 18 block deal of the ground will get transferred up. I almost want to do this to my island, but I'm a little scared that it's going to damage everything that's built. Like, I don't know if it's going to transfer all the entity type stuff. I might create a creative world on a separate video, maybe, and just show you guys this one thing, because this is a really cool item that's very underutilized from Britannia. And don't worry, I will definitely be doing Britannia. I love Britannia. I've been working with Britannia since it came out, and I love it. Smoked ham, another soulstone, and a bottle. New food. Heck yeah. And finally, slice of coarse fruit pie. Now, just because something doesn't add to your, like, hearts, doesn't mean having food's not a great thing, because some of these foods give you some crazy buffs. And I do, like this right here, gives you nourishment 5 or 5 minutes, meaning, like, when you're flying with the gyrocopter, you don't run out of health or the saturation that you would normally run out of. It just keeps it there. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good rewards. Nothing crazy, of course, but not, the man in a bottle is useful for craft. You can make it into a sandwich. That's about it. I don't ever really, not mess with that too much. I'm gonna put this away and hopefully I can come back around to using that shard sometime soon. Now this piggyback, I don't think I showed the piggyback. The piggy backpack is just a saddle with slime poured over it, which was super easy for me to do. And then what you do is you use it on a mob that's small enough, or, well, as far as I know, there's no size limit, but I wouldn't try to use a boss or anything with it. But you can grab a boss, a mini creature, or any creature you want. Oh, look, here's a guy. If it's a bad guy, like this guy's a bad guy, right? Like this guy's a bad dude. He's not fast enough, I hope. Yeah, he's fast enough when I turn around. You can pick him up. Now, if it's a bad guy, they'll do damage to you. Look, I'm busy. I wonder if I can pick him up. Yeah. See, you're going to want to put him down. But if you can pick him up temporarily and move him. So I could use him. I could use the piggy backpack. I'm not worried about him killing. He's strong, but he's not going to kill me. I have him captured already. That's why I'm not worried about it. He's in my containment jar. Ooh, he almost killed me. All right. He drops emeralds. I need that because he's inside of my Drigme farm, and I have infinite. I always say the wrong word. I have a pretty good supply of emeralds coming to me on a regular basis, coming from that Drigme farm. Same thing now goes for glowstone because now I have 2 witches in there, and they're pumping out glowstone. So, yeah. Where's the other food at? There we go. We'll eat that too. Hopefully I don't teleport. I'll give you heart boost 1, 4 health. Cool. Let's see if this pie. Come on. Hurry up. A little bit more. There we go. So if you were to really push yourself and do lots of foods, you could probably live from just eating a whole bunch of foods and using like a diamond sword running around. So it's not the difficulty, it's just coming up with creative solutions to some of these crazy problems that they've come up with, and not being so static when it comes to I have to be in mechanism by this time, or I have to be in this mod by this time, or anything, because that's not how this pack will play out. If you're looking to do that, good luck. Not without cheating. I mean, you can obviously cheat. Where'd my backpack go? Did I set it down? Holy crap. Where is my backpack? Is it on me? Where'd my backpack go? I didn't set my backpack down. You gotta be kidding me. Did my backpack just get deleted? Somehow? Dude, my backpack got eaten. Oh my god, no way. I did manage to get a dog as a pet. And if you notice that, if you back up here, you can see that he has enchantments on him. That actually comes from that dog collar. You enchant the dog collar with the stuff, and then it goes on to the dog or the creature that you do as a pet. They are finicky as heck. I've had 2 Alshenix as pets that didn't follow me. I left and they left. So you gotta get a tome. If you get too far away from them too fast, I guess you just lose them. Like I just did my backpack somehow. Dude, my backpack had all my good tools in it. You've got to be kidding me. Why would my backpack get deleted? No freaking way. I also created an enchantment library. That's one of the quests. And basically, I just threw all my books in there. I went over to my spell book, which is now an ironbound tome, which isn't that bad. And then I have these these 6 spells. There is no portal frame in this mod pack. They do not want you to do the fast traveling because I thought I could do these cool source stone things, but with the mithril, is not in this. So there's no portal frame. That's it. There's no. Whoa! All right, you can walk. Now he won't do much damage because he's not that strong, but skeletons apparently don't have any problems. And look at all that. But there's no dog whistle in this pack, so getting your pet to follow you, again, it's kind of a pain. So as I go through this, I'm discovering a lot of for me, they're real issues. Get over here. A few times I've had it where it's set for staying, like it is right now. It's awesome. I don't know how to use the pet bed. It says domestication, innovation, fix, but I don't know how to get him to go to the pet bed. Maybe there's like a stick of commanding or use a stick on him. I don't know. But I've had it where he was supposed to be staying like he is right now, and then he traveled anyway, and he walked into one of these warp portals and ended up in another one of the other locations. Where's my backpack? Look how fast this fills up, by the way. Dude, my backpack is gone. No, maybe I put it in the chest or something. That's a total possibility. No, my backpack is gone. All right, so there's some. That's a huge that's a huge problem. That is an absolutely gigantic problem. I had all kinds of stuff in there that I needed to be safe, and it's just gone. Normally, if you lose your backpack, you can find it like as it gets put in it like here. But my back slot's filled with the frost robe that I found over by the swamp. I also did a lot of trading with villagers. If you trade with villagers a lot, you'll get these discount vouchers, and you can start adding them together so that you can get emerald. What do you call it? Emerald discounts, basically. Kind of like if you were the hero of the village. This guy didn't knock it off of me, did he? I didn't even pay any attention to me having it. Oh my god, my backpack is gone, and I hope I put away all the. Wow, I lost so much stuff because of that. I lost my injector. I lost my claws. Um, yeah, so be mindful of that. Holy crap. The game ate my backpack. I don't even know if I want to make another backpack now. I mean, we don't need it as much now because we have this for storage, right? But I don't even know of all the stuff I had in there. I had rituals in there. I had containment jars. I had 8 containment jars in there. I had partially completed quest items in there. I had all kinds of stuff. Wow. So let me just put it this way. I'm going to continue to keep playing the pack until I realize, or until it gets to a point where broken stuff like this happens more than once or so, and then probably I'm going to stop playing. And that's only because I can't play a mod pack if progression gets halted by an error in the game. I just don't do that. And I can see why a lot of content creators did not complete this pack. Yeah. That's frustrating. Well, at least I can cover some of the other stuff I've done for this video. I created the pressure chamber, which is now ready to be used. It does continually run. Okay, so once you put coal in here, even if things fill up, it's just going to continue to burn. I think there's like an upgrade you can make it so it stops. Just remember that when you're building the pressure chamber, that you have to face one direction for these interfaces, and then so you have to go in from building it from the inside. You face this way to place the pressure chamber interface, and then on the other side you place it so that way one's facing in and one facing out, or it won't form. All right, so that's just one of the things for that. I use these vortex cannons. It says it burns forever. I wanted to test it out. It does not burn forever, obviously. But you can use a campfire here, and it basically will heat it up, and you can use heat pipe to transfer heat to the item. Blue ice, this should convert. Once I use this a few times, this heating frame, it's actually being used for cooling. Underneath it, there's some more blue ice with the vortex cannon. But basically what I'm doing is I'm cooling this thing down, and it's just another way to make obsidian, basically, for me. If I just take lava and you place it inside, if it's cold enough, you get obsidian. And there is a chance, and not an infinite chance, but a chance that it'll double. So sometimes you'll get 2 obsidian for 1 lava. Well, that's kind of cool. Oops. And like I said, sometimes this Enchanter's Eye works. Sometimes it don't. That's just a. I have anything left? Okay. I ran out of brass. So, all right, we made the crunching wheels. Let's go ahead and go to the next thing real quick. I have some powdered obsidian. Oh, it's over here in the sag mill. I also made the induction smelter. No, it's not. Oh, here it is. Powdered obsidian. I don't know if it's going to give me credit for that. They want you to use the crushing wheel to create powdered obsidian, I guess. So, even though this obsidian here will work for making various recipes, you can melt it back down. But it will work if you're making sturdy sheets, which will be probably another video, like another video on, because I have to use the sturdy sheets in order for me to make the different reinforced hulls, to make my destruction gadget, to make the various advanced engines so that I can make the airplane. Makes sense? Cool. I also made the induction smelter and ran out of Invar. Well, mostly, I think. I got one thing of Invar. Invar is iron and nickel, like this, and you can melt it down, or you can just go straight to the smeltery, which is how I made it on accident, which is just nickel and iron. And I don't have a lot of nickel. I have some nickel. Just remember, I think this is the best way to go, is using the squeezer. Because from the squeezer, you get a chance to get extra, right? And more than likely not, you're going to get more this way than any other way I've seen so far. Do I have any iron in there? No, but I have iron inside my... Get that glass out of here. Glass panes are good. How much invar do you think? Well, there's not a lot of iron in there. We'll just go ahead and... We'll just iron and nickel it up. Got lots of blocks of cheese, but these blocks of cheese, like I was showing in another video, don't exactly... Oh, crap, I forgot. That's the problem with having this hopper on here. It'll pull every item out even before it melts, and it just uses up lava. Because it starts to melt, but it doesn't finish. So, my mistake. So let's just do this. Now, periodically, I have to come over here and pull some of this stuff out because I don't have a void upgrade in there yet. Because I don't want to set a void upgrade with such a little amount. I want it to be like almost completely full, and then I'll set a void upgrade in there. And we were getting everything, right? Like we're getting clover patches, even though they don't have a whole lot of uses. You can cut them up into this chopped clover and eat it, and use it for like lettuce. So that's pretty cool, you know. And then you have mint, which can be made into mint jelly, mint tea. So I mean, there's all kinds of useful stuff that you're going to get, and of course, a sandwich. You can make a sandwich from anything. It seems like. But yeah, that's. I think that's it. I think that's mostly what I got done. Oh, great. I want to try out this laser now. Almost another block. I'm not worried about wasting stuff. I didn't even intend to get any glass. That just comes with the territory of having a dark room. I already explained my alterations. The manuscripts I got, I used them up making the bestiary lectern. I didn't realize it, but there's actually a lectern inside those castles. So I could have just taken one of those. But basically, once you unlock stuff, you can open this up. You just need enough of these manuscripts. I don't have enough manuscripts. You need 3 to unlock any of this. And it just unlocks different pieces of stuff that you can, so you can find out what stuff is. I spent a lot of time working on that. Let's go ahead and, where was I at? I was at create. Grab a, what is this thing? How do you make that? I guess I can make this extendo reach. I'm just, sorry, I'm a little bummed out right now with the backpack going away. Because it was a diamond backpack, first of all, which I can cheat in a diamond backpack to give me stuff back, but I can't. I had that backpack because I showed it to you guys. Because I opened it up at the beginning of the video. Do you think that that guy destroyed my backpack? Like, is that a thing? Because I showed you guys the backpack so that I could show you the little, the chrysalises. Wow. Wow. I don't know what else to say. I'm sitting there showing off my stuff. And that guy came over. I got a little bit of flight left. The dude destroyed my backpack. That's the only thing I can think of. Wow. All right, so that's something to look out for. I had to extend the wall out for the Metacraft. Oh my god. Do they know that it can do that? If you guys play this pack, just be ready for that. Maybe it's under diamond. I got 2 whole diamonds left now. Crap. All right, well, instead of spending my entire time doing that, let's see what else. Maybe it could have. Yeah. I mean, look at all these drawers. They're not all full now, so that's good. I'm beginning to think that this side right here won't reach. This guy's down here. I don't even know what he's looking at. I need to find a way of getting passive diamonds somehow. So I guess bees are going to be the way to go. Son of a gun. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to pause video. I'm going to come back in a second. I got to regroup from this backpack loss. And right now, that's all I can think of is like what's in my head is what was in that backpack. And there's just too much stuff that I can't say I should not have lost, but it's gone. So just give me a second while I try and figure out what I'm going to do.